Across the vast expanse of time, mythologies have forged the world. From the depths of chaos to the flames of distant realms, every culture has woven tales of gods, heroes, and celestial wonders. Welcome to Myth2Myth, your mythological portal. Subscribe for more epic journeys. Visit myth2myth.com and discover all our products. Echoes of terror still tremble within the starlit halls of Othrys, where Cronus rules a throne soaked in swallowed silences. But far from his sight, hidden in the folds of the world, a flame has been spared. Wrapped in midnight veils, concealed from the tyranny of time, Rhea carries the one child Cronus shall never consume, Zeus. As the cosmos holds its breath, Gaia guides the birth of rebellion. In Cretan lands, where mountains whisper myths and caves cradle promise, the guardians arise: Amalthea, Adrasteia, Ida, and the Curetes, with bronze and warlike rhythm, drown the cries of the god who shall one day shatter the chains of the Titanic age. The ancient world beats with the pulse of resistance. Amid sacred milk and forgotten hymns, the future finds shelter. For what hides is not merely a child, but a thunder waiting to awaken. Through the star-drenched shadows of the newborn cosmos, Rhea flees. Her breath is shallow, her arms cradling the last hope of heaven. Swaddled in midnight cloths, the infant Zeus rests silently, as if aware that even his cries might betray their path. Behind them, Mount Othrys looms like a monument to dread, its halls still echoing with swallowed screams. The stone, Omphalos, now lies within Cronus, and yet unease coils around Rhea's heart like a serpent of prophecy. From the roots of the earth, Gaia rises, immense, veiled in bark and moss, her breath scented with thunder and soil. She parts the underbrush with silent command, revealing a hidden path that no titan dares follow. South, she speaks without voice, to the place where the tyrant's gaze fades. The stars above dim their witness. Lightning pulses briefly in the infant's gaze. Rhea nods and steps forward into the living tunnel Gaia has formed, each stride guided not by courage, but necessity. What she carries is not merely a child, it is the seed of revolt, a spark cradled in the arms of desperation. Far above, Cronus feels it, a tremor not of earth, but of fate. He sits upon his throne of obsidian, forged from rebellion, now surrounded by silence more suffocating than any war cry. The Omphalos lies heavy within him, yet peace does not come. He senses the prophecy, is not silenced but displaced. His fingers drum the armrest and he calls upon Cronus, the titan of intellect. "Is it done?" he asks, voice sharp as the sickle now dulled by ritual. Cronus bows, eyes darting. "Something escapes," he admits, the words barely audible over the hush. Cronus rises. His shadow stretches impossibly long across the starlit chamber. "There are footsteps," he growls, "where none should be." The stars above shiver as if warning him. Visions flicker in his mind, lightning, rebellion, a throne shattered by thunder. Though he has devoured 5 of his children, unease clings to his spine. The tyrant knows, prophecy does not end with stones. It waits, hidden, growing teeth in the dark. Guided by Gaia's unseen hand, Rhea journeys across sea and starlight. No mortal ship carries her. Instead, the earth itself has woven a vessel of root and vine, cradling her and Zeus upon soft moss that pulses with ancient breath. Above them, clouds veil the stars. The sky holds its silence like an oath. Waves ripple around them, forming sacred patterns, circles within circles, echoes of the Moirai, whose threads now twist in defiance of Cronus. Dolphins breach nearby, guardians of the sea's silent pact. Zeus lies still, his breath shallow, eyes wide with a knowing far beyond infancy. In the distance, Crete rises like a sleeping colossus. Peaks of Dicte and Ida shimmer with starlit dew, their summits veiled in clouds. Gaia's voice whispers through the wind. Here the tyrant's gaze falters, here the old world loses hold. Rhea gazes forward, eyes resolute, arms tightening around her son. Behind them, the stars turn their backs to Cronus. Ahead, the island of shelter breathes with myth. At the foot of Mount Dicte, the earth opens like a secret mouth. Trees encircle the cave's entrance, their roots arched in silent reverence. The air is thick with pine, honey, and prophecy. Gaia halts and speaks no more. Her form dissipates into leaves and stone, her task complete. Rhea is alone. She enters. Inside, the cavern pulses with heat and breath, as though the world itself inhales. Crystals glisten like frozen tears. She lays Zeus upon a bed of braided moss, nestled within an alcove shaped by time. Constellations filter through cracks above, casting star maps onto his skin. Rhea kneels, pressing her forehead to the stone. "Grow hidden," she whispers. "Grow mighty." She leaves behind a thread of her veil, woven with moonlight and prayer, and seals the cavern with a stone kissed by her tears. Outside, the forest bends in silence. Inside, the thunder sleeps. The cavern sealed, the winds hush. Not even the leaves dare move. Outside, the forest stands sentinel, its ancient trees arching into a sacred canopy of branches and stars around the hidden mouth of earth. Rhea emerges slowly, her hands trembling as they brush soil from her robes. Her eyes scan the skies. No sign of pursuit, yet her soul remains clenched. Crete is still. The stars above have not shifted. Even the sea seems to hold its tides in reverence. Rhea kneels at the cave's threshold, fingers pressed to the stone that now cradles her son. She murmurs no prayer, for words feel hollow. Only silence will suffice. The same silence that swallowed 5 of her children, now returned as sanctuary. From afar, the constellations begin to turn once more. Somewhere beyond the veil of sky, the Moirai resume their weaving. A thread has escaped Cronus's grasp, and though no thunder roars and no flame erupts, a fracture has formed, subtle, sacred. The world has exhaled one long breath, and now it waits. Cronus walks alone through the halls of Othrys, the sickle dragging behind him, leaving trails of sparks across obsidian stone. His court is empty. The Titans avoid his presence. The once celebrated Tyrant now stalks his own dominion, haunted not by enemies but by silence. He enters the chamber where the omphalos was swallowed. The air is dense, oppressive. His hands tremble. He places a palm against his stomach, not in pain, but in doubt. He expected peace, closure. Yet something writhes within, not flesh, not stone, an absence. Visions return, the prophecy, Uranus's voice echoing through blood. "A sun shall rise." Cronus tightens his grip on the sickle. The chamber darkens. Nebulae twist into thorns. He curses the silence, cursing Rhea, cursing Gaia. Yet he cannot name what he fears, only that it stirs in the void where certainty once lived. The Tyrant devoured 5 gods. But the sixth is too quiet. Deep within the sealed cave, Zeus stirs. Though still an infant, his breath crackles faintly. The stone beneath him glows with a soft pulse. His tiny fingers twitch, and from their tips, a spark leaps into the air, vanishing like a dream. No one witnesses it. No Curete has yet come. No nymph has sung him lullabies. The child lies alone, but not abandoned. The cavern hums as if attuned to his essence. A drop of condensation falls from the ceiling, landing on his chest. It sizzles. Outside, the sky murmurs with distant thunder, not from Cronus, not from Gaia, but from within the earth itself. The cavern deepens, shifting imperceptibly as if preparing itself to raise a god. Zeus blinks once. The spark in his eyes fades. He returns to sleep, but the world around him has changed. The first storm is not of sky or sea. It is born in silence, in darkness, in the breath of a child, untouched by fear. Drums echo like thunder beneath the roots of the mountain. From the shadows emerge the Curetes, figures not of flesh, but of mythic rhythm and divine choreography. Clad in shimmering bronze and crimson cloth, they stamp the earth in unison, circling the entrance of the cave. Their movements are precise, their faces unreadable beneath radiant helms. With each clash of shield and sword, the sound reverberates through the rocks, masking the cries of the infant hidden within. They are not warriors, they are guardians, their dance older than war itself. Every strike is ritual, every step a sigil carved in time. Sparks leap from their armor as they twirl, invoking the wrath of thunder to drown out mortal sound. From afar, one might mistake them for a battle, but no blood is shed. Only echoes, only rhythm, only silence forged by fury. Beneath this sacred cacophony, Zeus sleeps unbothered. The cave breathes with the tempo. The Titans hear nothing. Cronus hears nothing. And so the child of fate lies safe, guarded not by swords but by sound. From the wooded slope of Mount Dicte, a presence descends, golden, radiant, primal. Amalthea appears, her form a sacred blend of beast and myth. Her fleece glows with soft firelight, and her horns curl like crescent moons etched in silver. With careful steps she enters the cave, her eyes vast with maternal calm. She lowers her head and allows Zeus to nurse. From her divine udder flows milk luminous as starlight, pooling in the infant's lips like liquid constellations. Each swallow sends warmth rippling through the earth, and the cave glows in response. Amalthea is no mere goat. She is a relic of elder nature, a creature who once roamed the golden age, now tethered to a single sacred purpose, to nourish the child who will shatter a tyrant. She does not bleat, she does not blink. She watches, listens, waits. Above, the Curetes continue their dance. Below, the boy drinks the future. Time holds its breath, and the cosmos dares not interrupt this quiet miracle. From the misted groves of Crete comes Adrasteia, bearing a cradle of woven gold and sacred branches. Her eyes burn with solar resolve, her arms strong with divine purpose. She steps into the cave with silent authority, her presence part hymn, part storm. Without a word, she places the cradle beside Zeus, the sacred threads humming as they touch the cave floor. She traces ancient sigils in the dust, protection, concealment, fate, and presses her palm to the earth, as if sealing a pact with Gaia herself. Then she sings, not loudly, but with resonance deep as the underworld. Her song winds through the stone, curling around Zeus like silk. The child does not stir, but the shadows retreat. The walls echo her melody. Adrasteia is not nursemaid. She is sentinel, chosen by the pulse of the world. Her every step is prophecy. She will not let the child fall. And though the night is long, her vigil is longer. Trailing behind Adrasteia comes Ida, cloaked in violet mist and crowned with ivy. She brings no cradle, no song, only silence and stillness, yet her presence changes the cave's breath. She kneels beside Zeus and places a single crystal on his chest, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Ida is guardian of stillness. Her power is not in movement, but in anchoring the sacred. Where Adrasteia is flame, Ida is root. She speaks to the bones of the mountain, calling on ancient Cretan spirits to bind the cave in secrecy. The torchlight flickers, and a gust of cold wind passes, but nothing moves Zeus. He is now watched by the harmony of opposites, sound and silence, milk and stone, motion and stillness. The two sisters sit beside the cradle, forming a triangle with Amalthea. The cave becomes a temple. The world beyond may rage and tremble, but here, time coils inward, waiting. From the fragrant thickets beyond the cave, Melissa arrives, her footsteps trailing golden pollen, her hair a cascade of amber honey. She carries no weapon, no cradle, but in her hands rests a shallow bowl carved from living root, filled with nectar shimmering like liquefied dawn. Her presence hums with serenity, yet power coils beneath her gentleness. As she enters the sacred space, the air sweetens, and even the cave walls seem to lean in. She kneels before Zeus and lifts the bowl to his lips. He drinks, and the nectar binds with the milk of Amalthea, fusing nourishment and prophecy. This is no mere sustenance, it is communion, an anointing by the forces of wild sweetness, of divine intoxication. Melissa's hands glow faintly, fingertips alight with golden sigils. Bees hum around her in spirals, unseen but felt. She is the keeper of sacred delight, the one who blesses kings before their thrones are forged. When she finishes, she bows her head and whispers a single word into Zeus's ear. None hear it but the stars. Adrasteia, Ida, and Melissa stand in a triangle around the cradle, their eyes fixed upon the child. Each has offered her gift: defense, stillness, and sacred nourishment. Now, in perfect silence, they raise their arms. The cave dims, and a beam of starlight descends, touching Zeus's brow. A symbol ignites, neither letter nor sigil, but a shape older than language. The rock beneath him pulses in rhythm, and the shadows hush. Around them, time seems to curl into a spiral, the laws of motion suspended in divine reverence. They chant, not aloud, but in thought. Their spirits intertwine, weaving a net of protective fate. Bees form a ring. Crystals resonate. Ida slithers across the stone in elegant arcs. The cave itself becomes sentient, its breath aligned with the child's. This is not a hiding place. It is a forge of destiny. The boy is not merely shielded, he is tempered. Each heartbeat is a hammer stroke. Each breath a shaping force. Outside, Cronus reigns in silence, but beneath the mountain, the future gathers strength cloaked in ancient rite. Though her form does not appear, Gaia's essence descends like dew upon the roots of the mountain. The moss thickens, the crystals glow. A hush overtakes the cave, and the three guardians pause. From the walls, ancient vines emerge, flowering with golden blooms. A breeze, impossibly soft, brushes across the cradle, whispering words in a tongue older than Titans. The earth speaks. Zeus stirs, his fingers twitching with flickers of electric breath. Lightning dances across his chest, not violent but embryonic, like the heartbeat of storms yet to come. The guardians kneel. Gaia does not enter as goddess, but as presence. She blesses the silence, the soil, the rhythm. In that moment, the cave is not merely sanctuary, it is womb, and the mountain remembers. Time does not rush in Crete, it carves. Seasons pass like breath through stone, spring weaving garlands into Amalthea's horns, summer rippling golden through Demeter's hidden roots, autumn scattering red leaves across Ida's slopes, and winter whispering snow onto the roof of the cave that holds a secret storm. Zeus grows, not in haste, but in harmony. The Curetes still dance, their blades chiming against bronze, not as warriors now, but as keepers of rhythm. Melissa hums her wordless lullaby, while Adrasteia and Ida shape the silence around him, molding space where thought and divinity can stretch. His limbs lengthen, his gaze deepens. Thunder coils behind his ribs, silent still, but present. Each passing year is etched not in numbers but in echoes, a cry deeper than before, a gesture steadier, a glance that startles the wild goats. The mountain watches, the earth remembers. And the stars, those same constellations that once stood still, begin to turn again. The storm is almost ready. The cave is no longer a cradle. Its breath is deeper now, echoing with the pulse of a god on the cusp of awakening. Zeus stands where his cradle once lay, now replaced by a stone altar veined with ancient moss. His body, lean and lithe, bears the quiet tension of power not yet unleashed. His black hair curls with wildness, his eyes reflecting thunderclouds yet unborn. Around him, the air hums with memory. The Triad of guardians watches from the edges, Adrasteia with arms crossed like stone, Ida whispering prayers into roots, Melissa still and radiant. No words pass. This is the moment of silent transmission, where knowledge is not taught, but remembered. A sigil glows faintly on Zeus's brow, the same etched by starlight years before. Above, the mountain no longer shelters a child, it shields a storm. Gaia's essence coils in the wind. The past has receded. What stands now is not a boy but a force coalescing. His journey is not beginning, it is being remembered. As Zeus meditates atop the stone, a tremor courses through the cave. Not violent, but resonant, like a heart remembering its rhythm. From the earthen walls, vines unfurl. From the crystals, echoes rise. Gaia's presence descends fully now, shaping form from breath. Her voice does not enter through ears, but through bone. Remember, it says, you are not born to reign. You are born to restore. The words anchor him. Visions rush. Cronus devouring the divine, the silence of swallowed gods, the pulse of a world stifled. Zeus clenches his fists. Sparks crackle at his fingertips. Lightning does not strike. It coils. Gaia shows him the plan, not through maps, but through resonance. He sees Métis far away, holding a vial glowing like captured dawn. He sees Cronus, enthroned in silence, his own heartbeat dull and erratic. The path is laid not with force, but with precision. Zeus rises. His breath is steady. His eyes burn with clarity. Gaia fades, but her imprint remains. The earth has spoken. The time has come. Beneath the still pulse of Crete's stars, the earth stirs once more. Deep beneath the Dictean mountain, where silence had reigned since Zeus's first cry, Gaia returns, unseen, unannounced. Her form is vast, indistinct, fused with stone and root, but her essence breathes through every crevice of the cavern. She does not step, she emerges, as if the mountain exhales her presence. Zeus stands alone now, no longer a child. His eyes are bright with purpose, his breath steady with resolve. Gaia observes in stillness. She does not speak, for speech would diminish the gravity of what has awakened. The time is no longer distant, it has arrived. The mountain walls tremble, subtly, not in fear, but in recognition. The old earth senses the shift, the god has ripened. Gaia draws closer, her presence wrapping around him like ancient memory. She touches nothing, yet the air itself thickens with promise. Her whisper is windless, older than language. It is time, no command, no prophecy. Only truth, ancient and undeniable. The earth has seen enough. Now she moves. In the stillness that follows Gaia's return, a ripple moves through the world, not through land or sea, but through essence. Far from the cave of Dicte, deep beneath ancient rivers and unseen veins of the earth, Métis stirs. She is not summoned with words, but with will. Gaia's call is older than invocation, woven into the breath of the cosmos. Métis hears it as thought before sound, as resonance before meaning. She rises from the subterranean stillness, the eldest daughter of Oceanus and Tethys, her form liquid and luminous, clothed in shifting wisdom. She does not rush. She emerges as certainty does, inevitable, serene. Her eyes do not search, they see. In a hidden glade where no mortal foot has ever stepped, Gaia waits. The air vibrates with what is to come. Métis arrives in silence, her presence rippling through roots and stones. No greeting is spoken. The moment demands no ceremony. The child is ready, Gaia says, her voice like wind against rock. Métis inclines her head once, then so is the plan. They do not speak further. The cosmos has already agreed. Beneath the surface of the world, where light does not reach and time flows sideways, Métis begins. The cavern she chooses is silent, sealed by the roots of an elder oak. Within it, waters trickle from stone, and vapors shimmer with the memory of stars. She moves without sound, gathering elements no god would dare name aloud. drops of echo from a cave that has never heard lies, slivers of light trapped in amber before Cronus's reign, dust from the bones of unbroken oaths. Each ingredient is memory, and each memory carries weight. The mixture does not boil, it breathes. It glows not with fire, but with potential. Métis hums an ancient tone, no melody, only vibration. The elixir thickens, golden and slow, as if reluctant to be born. In her hands, wisdom becomes substance. This is not poison, this is reckoning. When it is done, she places the elixir within a vessel carved from fossilized coral, sealed with a breath and a whisper. It is ready. The age of digestion is about to end. At the mouth of the cave, where the mists of night meet the breath of dawn, Métis waits. She does not speak, nor step forward. Zeus approaches slowly, taller now, his posture bearing the gravity of choice. No ritual precedes the moment. There is no need. She holds the vial between two fingers, delicate but glowing like an ember. Zeus reaches for it, and in the instant his skin touches glass, the air stills. Their eyes meet. Métis does not instruct, she confirms. "You know when," she says. Zeus nods. He turns the vial once, watching its golden contents swirl. In it the memory of devourings, the weight of silenced gods, the sharpness of purpose. It is not poison, it is reversal. A key forged from reason and necessity. They exchange no farewell. She vanishes with the mist. He remains alone, a storm sheathed in form. One step remains, one confrontation. Zeus walks through the thinning forest, each step parting the mist as if time itself yields. Behind him, the sacred cave fades into myth. Before him, the shadow of Mount Othrys looms, distant but waiting. He carries no weapon, no army. Only the vial, now bound to his belt, and the silence of purpose. Animals watch without fear, winds slow in respect. Even the bees linger behind, as if their task is done. Zeus does not look back. The mountain has forged him. Now the skies must answer. As he crests a ridge, lightning rolls behind his eyes. Not prophecy, readiness. From a child bathed in honey and goat's milk, a force has risen that no titan can ignore. He is not yet king, but he is no longer hidden. A final breeze from Crete brushes his brow. The mountain falls silent. The earth has fulfilled its role. Now the heavens must tremble. Within the shadowed halls of Mount Othrys, torchlight flickers against walls of black stone. Zeus stands among the silent attendants, his form veiled in humility, clad in the plain garments of a servant. Ash streaks his hair, and his eyes remain low. He does not draw attention. Cronus reclines on his obsidian throne, his stare restless, grip tightening on the sickle. Some titans avert their gaze, as if burdened by a reign that began with the fall of Uranus. Zeus steps forward, measured, reverent, holding a golden cup carved with spirals of fate. He bows, offering it without defiance. "From the daughters of Oceanus," he says softly, "a gift of reconciliation." Cronus studies the figure before him, too tall for a boy, too still for a spy. Yet the cup gleams with ancestral allure, and the words carry the weight of old ritual. He hesitates. Then, without rising, he accepts it. The air tightens. No lightning, no war cry, just a servant and a choice. Cronus lifts the chalice with slow grandeur, eyes fixed on Zeus as if passing every flicker of expression. The hall holds its breath. The titans tense. Time itself seems to hesitate. He drinks. A draught of fermented honey and sacred herbs, whispered into being by Métis, slides down his throat like lightning wrapped in memory. It does not scorch. It unravels. Cronus's face twitches. A flicker, then a blink, then stillness. For one agonizing moment, nothing happens. Then his breath hitches, and his throat tightens. The chalice drops, ringing against the stone. Zeus remains motionless, watching. His eyes do not gleam with victory, only necessity. Iapetus stiffens. Coeus narrows his gaze. Creus glances toward the darkening sky. Unease ripples across the obsidian chamber. No words, only omens. The Titans step back, unsure whether to rush forward or flee. Cronus claws at his throat, not in pain, but in disbelief. For the first time since Uranus fell, he no longer controls what resides within. Deep within his gut, the storm begins. A tremor ripples through Cronus' body. Not pain, movement, divine resonance. Inside him, the swallowed gods awaken. Hestia's fire sparks. Demeter's roots coil. Hera's will pulses. Poseidon stirs like a submerged quake. Hades whispers from the shadow of death. The Titan King gasps, his spine arching, sweat beading across his brow like dew on ancient stone. He clutches his abdomen, the cosmic prison of his own children. Light bursts behind his eyes. His mouth opens, but no voice escapes. Zeus watches, heart steady. This is not vengeance, it is justice. Gaia's presence echoes within the mountain's core, anchoring the moment in fate. Métis' potion works silently, like a key unwinding a celestial lock. The Titans sense it. The world is tilting. Something sacred is about to break. Cronus collapses to his knees. His breath comes in ragged bursts, the golden elixir searing through him like divine fire. The Titans flinch, tense, but Zeus raises a hand, calm and sovereign. "Let it happen," he says, and the cosmos obeys. A golden pulse erupts from Cronus' throat. The omphalos emerges first, intact, radiant, the stone of deception now expelled by the body it once deceived. It hits the ground with a resonant clang, rolling to Zeus's feet, pulsing like the heart of a shattered age. Then, liberation. A flicker appears beside the stone. Hestia. A serene flame trembles in her palms. She says nothing. Her gaze turns to the cavern's shadows, as if promising never to forget what was endured in silence. From behind her, vines unfurl. Demeter kneels and touches the stone. With her breath, golden stalks sprout from her fingers. Her eyes meet Zeus's, silent, thankful. Hera inhales as light returns to her form. Veils of divine silk swirl about her. She rises with regal grace and fixes Cronus with a gaze, without fear, without forgiveness. Poseidon roars into being, his chest heaving like storm-swollen waves. A trident of mist materializes in his hand. Thunder rolls faintly behind him. At last the shadows coalesce. Hades ascends, silent and cold, wrapped in morning's cloak. His eyes shimmer with ancient wisdom. He does not speak, but Zeus gestures, and Hades nods in return. Zeus kneels beside them. He says nothing. This is not a moment of triumph, but of return, of gods, of balance, of a destiny long denied. All around the world falls still. Silence becomes breath. The rebellion has begun. The chamber does not move, yet the cosmos shifts. Zeus stands slowly, eyes locked on the stone pulsing at his feet. He bends, lifts it with both hands, the sacred weight heavy not in mass, but in meaning. The omphalos gleams, slick with divine essence, still echoing the lie that once saved Olympus. Titans lower their eyes. Gaia watches, unmoving. Zeus raises the stone to the sky. A beam of celestial light pierces the ceiling, illuminating him like a pillar between worlds. The heavens answer. The stars realign. The very air tightens with awe. He speaks not to gods or titans, but to the fabric of fate itself. This is the seal of our return, the proof that time cannot devour us forever. And with that, the omphalos is no longer just a relic. It becomes symbol, testament, declaration. The throne room echoes with a silence more deafening than war. Cronus lies slumped at the base of his fractured seat, his breath shallow, his strength spent. His golden armor tarnishes before their eyes, dulled not by time, but by justice. Around him the Titans watch, not in fury but in collapse. Tethys covers her mouth, trembling. Oceanus steps back, waves dimming across his brow. Themis lowers her gaze, her sense of justice shattered by loyalty misplaced. Mnemosyne weeps quietly, memory turning against the very reign she once upheld. Gaia stands still, no triumph in her eyes, only solemn reckoning. She knows what has broken cannot be undone, and what rises must now be chosen. The pillars of old tremble, not from battle but from realization. The age of Cronus has ended. No fanfare, no cries of victory, only the sound of fate shifting, like the soft crack of ice before the flood. Far above, the stars blink, as if recording this final fracture. The cosmos inhales and holds its breath. A new order has not yet begun, but the old one has fallen. Zeus steps forward, the Omphalos still cradled in his arms. Around him stand Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, each reborn, each marked by survival. They do not speak. Words would break the stillness. He kneels, places the sacred stone upon the floor, and the others follow. One by one, each sibling touches it, their fingers lighting faintly with divine resonance. This is no coronation, no pact signed in scroll or song. It is an oath made in silence. Never again. Above them, the stars swirl faster, the mountain groans, the halls of Othrys whisper. The cosmos knows the children of Cronus have returned, not as victims, but as forces. Zeus rises last, his hand lingering on the stone. He turns his eyes toward the heavens. Lightning flickers behind his gaze, not yet unleashed. Far away beneath the same stars, Rhea stirred. In her hidden sanctuary, she felt the tremor, soft but true. Her children had escaped the jaws of time. The earth knew, a mother knew. And as the firmament dimmed and the mountain breathed, Zeus stepped beyond the veil, the thunder of Olympus stirring within him. Beneath the ruined halls of Mount Othrys, silence no longer speaks of fear but of change. Cronus, once the devourer of time, now lies humbled, his reign undone not by blade or fury, but by a whisper passed between earth and wisdom. The gods, once swallowed, now stand reborn. No throne is yet claimed, no war yet won. But something vast and irreparable has shifted. The Omphalos gleams at the center, no longer a stone of deception, but a monument to survival, to sacrifice, to truth. Zeus does not celebrate. His gaze turns not to the Titans nor to the past, but toward the heavens that once watched in silence, toward a future that now awaits his thunder. Gaia watches. Métis vanishes into thought, and the stars seem to hold their breath. The age of Cronus is broken, but what rises next will be tested not by prophecy, but by war. In the next episode, the sky will crack, the brothers will rise, and Olympus will no longer be a dream, but a goal written in lightning. Subscribe for more epic journeys. Visit myth2myth.com and discover all our products.